Saturday people, how are you all doing? Welcome to a match review of Saturday's game between Charlton and Reading. Now unfortunately I didn't watch the game from home as I was away for the weekend. And quite frankly, I'm glad I didn't watch the game because it was just the same old story. It didn't work out too well for the Addicks as we suffered our third straight defeat in a row, losing by a 1-0 against the Royals. George Puscas' second-minute penalty was the difference between the two sides, as once again we struggle to find the back of the net. We cannot take our chances. Can't hit a barn door. There were a lot of talking points to go through in this game, a lot of controversy within the game in terms of the officiating, and as the smoke clears after this defeat to Reading, we're in serious trouble. The club is in serious trouble right now. We find ourselves in a very difficult situation with 3 games remaining, 3 very tough games to go into, and we're making it very difficult to survive. We're making it very difficult for ourselves. So, without any further hesitation, let's dissect Saturday's game. So we'll start off with the lineup for the two teams. So Charlton started with the same team that won against Hull City and QPR except for one change. It was Phillips in goal, Adam Matthews, Tom Lockyer, Jason Pearce and Deji Oshilaja in the back 4, Oshilaja occupying left back. Midfield 3 was Albie Morgan, Josh Cullen, Darren Pratley and Aidan McGeady, and the front 2 was Macaulay Bonne and Chuks Aneke. Chuks Aneke getting his first start at the Valley. I did think that attack in front 2 would be a very, very good attack going into this game. And as for the Reading team, they went with a 4-1-4-1 formation with Raphael in goal, Osho, Michael Morrison, former Charlton player, Tom Maguire and Tyler Blackett in the back 4, Pele as the CDM, not the Pele that you're thinking of, Yaku Maite, Andy Rimanota, John Swift and Michael Elise in the midfield, and George Puscas led the attacking line on his own. So it was quite a strong team for Reading. Obviously they've got a few threats in there, Rimanota and Swift in particular in the midfield. Maite, who come off the back of 4 goals against Luton, so he was definitely going to be a threat. So the game didn't get off to the best of starts for Charlton, as within the first 2 minutes we gave a bloody penalty away. Osho was working the ball out on the right side, trying to find someone to pass the ball to. He played it out to Rimanota on the right side. He had Maite in front of him, ready to play the ball down. He played it central to John Swift instead. Swift picked out Rimanota again, a nice 1-2 between the two. Rimanota steams into the box. Oshilaja brings him down, and the ref gives a penalty to Reading inside the opening 2 minutes. I have had a look at the close-up of this penalty decision on the Sky Sports' highlights, and Oshilaja does have his hand on him. It is quite clumsy from Oshilaja. He has his hand on his back. Rimanota goes down. It is given as a penalty. It's just another one of them mistakes from Oshilaja. He's been so prone to those mistakes in defence this season. I actually think he's done quite well at left back since returning. The mistakes like that just cost him, and it just does show that I kind of do wonder he just isn't good enough for this league. I really just don't think. But anyway, he brings Rimanota down. George Puscas steps up and fires it straight down the middle. Phillips dives the wrong way, and that is Puscas' 11th goal of the season, and Charlton find themselves 1-0 down with a mountain to climb already on the back foot, which is the last thing that we needed in this situation. The last thing that we wanted was to go 1-0 down. We needed to take the goal early, and more than likely would have defended for our lives. And to be honest, that's exactly what Reading did. Reading did a Charlton against us. And then came the first of 2 controversial refereeing decisions of the game, and that was Charlton's goal that was disallowed. Now, we were trying to work the ball out of the back as we normally tend to do, what we've done for pretty much all season. Albie Morgan puts in a brilliant ball, sprays the ball out from the back all the way out to Adam Matthews on the right side. Matthews takes a touch, chips it into Macaulay Bonne. He holds it up nicely, lays it off to Aidan McGeady. McGeady hits a low-driven left-footed shot from near enough the edge of the box. Cabral gets a save to it, but he parries it to Chuks Aneke. Aneke, pretty much unmarked, sticks it in the back of the net from inside the 6-yard box. Charlton think we're level, but the ref gives it for offside, and Charlton's goal is wiped out, and we remain 1-0 down. Now, I have seen screenshots of what it looked like. Here they are on the screen now. This was as McGeady took the shot, and as you can see, it is mega tight. It is so close to call, but my judgment, call me biased if you want, Chuks is onside. That is my opinion. Chuks is onside. If you zoom in closely, you can see, I think that's Michael Morrison who's trying to mark Aneke or level with Aneke. They do look quite level, but if you look at Morrison's leg, it does look further away than Aneke. Aneke does look slightly behind the defender, so just another classic officiating decision that didn't go our way. It's the same that happened against Brentford. I personally felt the penalty against Brentford was too soft. Like, Cullen won the ball. Even the referee said at that game, Cullen won the ball, but it was what happened afterwards. If he won the ball, he won the ball. If he won the ball, it's not a penalty. And how the ref could give that penalty was disgraceful. And then we get this against Reading, where an offside, which was an offside. So we've just been absolutely mugged off there by the officials again. Now, with Anike's goal being disallowed, we were searching for that equaliser. Once again, trying to play it out from the back and smash the ball long. Hoof ball, trying to play the hoof ball tactic. Lockyer plays it out to Josh Cullen, who smashes it down the line to Aidan McGeady, who does well to bring it down. He takes on his man, skins his man, puts the ball in the box, finds Macaulay Bonne inside the 6-yard box, and he tries to find the far post and just misses. And it's just like, you've got to be scoring from those positions. It's as simple as that. I know the cross comes in at quite a speed, and I know it's at a tight angle, but you can't be missing from 3 yards out. Macaulay Bonne, same story throughout this entire, since the restart. He's got so much criticism from this. So many people saying that, oh yeah, you can see he's a non-league standard football, and I just think it's unfair criticism. But the reality is, he hasn't been good enough. I did think that goal against Brentford would do him the world of good. But when you're missing chances like that, and that's not the first time, like against Millwall as well, when he got put through, he could easily have squared it or even gone far post. He decided to go near post and didn't even put his laces through it. Tried to tap it through Bielkowski's legs, and it like p-rolled through his legs and went out for a corner. It's just more missed chances. Like, we need to be taking those chances. 3 yards out, man. You've got to be scoring those chances. You need to be putting those away. And it's just a similar story. Bonne really has been missing those chances recently. This criticism he's been getting from the fans, in my opinion, is unfair, considering the season that he's had, which has been remarkable. But at the moment, even I can say he has been poor. But the criticism he's been receiving, saying that you can see he's not good enough for the Championship, he's a non-league striker at best, just isn't fair. So that did close off the half. Reading went into the break with a 1-goal lead, and Charlton left scratching their heads and frustrated with themselves because, of course, the refereeing decision, the offside goal, absolutely stupid. But then, as well as that, we can't entirely blame the officials for that first half because we just didn't take our chances. Again, every time I got a notification from Charlton's Twitter or Louis Mendes or something like that, it was always McGeady's trying to work the ball out. He's trying to cross the ball in. So McGeady's doing all the hard work, and it seemed like he was doing all the hard work and trying to get the balls in the box, but nothing was just working. We had, again, a game where chances just weren't going our way. We weren't taking our chances, and the refereeing decision, that offside decision, just didn't help us in any sort of way. So obviously we went into the second half searching for an equaliser. Once again, just trying to get that equaliser. But ultimately, it just didn't come. It's just another game of more missed chances. And here's another one here. We get a set piece through Josh Cullen. He tries to cross it in. It's headed away. It comes to Puscas, who tries to hold it up. He holds it up nicely. Plays in Aidan McGeady, who chips it in. Anike brings it down, but the defender does enough to put him off, and he fires it over the bar. And clearly, as you can see, Anike clearly frustrated with that. But the defender, the Reading defender, fair play, did enough there to did enough to put him off. But Anike done really well to bring that down, chest it down inside the box. Has a shot on the left foot, and it's skied over the bar. Again, more missed chances inside the box. You've got to be putting those chances away. The thing with Anike, in my opinion, he's been our most improved attacker. He's been our best attacker since returning. But he's lacking that in product. And once again, most of our attacks were coming through Anike and McGeady. Anike had so many headers that were headed over the bar. And McGeady tried to cross the ball in countless amount of times. Just nothing was going our way. Nothing was working. And then came probably the most controversial decision of the day. Charlton's penalty appeal. So this was within the last 5 minutes of the game. Time was running out for Charlton, desperately trying to get that equaliser, surging forward, playing that hoofball tactic, swinging balls into the box, trying to work something out. Nothing going our way. And then I think in around the 83rd, 84th, 85th minute, round about that time, nice little build-up play, nice little play between Cullen and Matthews. Cullen plays in Jake Puscas, who's in the box. Jordan Obita hands all over Puscas. Puscas goes down. You'll think it'll be a penalty. Nope. Puscas booked for a dive, and a free kick is given Reading's way. I have seen the highlights to that penalty. I have seen the close-up to it. And this is absolutely disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful how the ref can give this as a dive. I'll try and find it, but as you can clearly see, Obita, hands all over Puscas. He's pulling his shirt, for God's sake. Pulls his shirt, actually does pull him back the second time. Jake goes down, dive. If that's not a penalty, then Reading's penalty ain't a penalty, because it's essentially the same thing. Oshilaja has his hand on Rimanota. Rimanota goes down, penalty, fair enough. If that's a penalty, ours is a penalty. Our penalty shout is a better penalty shout than Rimanota's penalty. Because Abita clearly has his hands all over him, pulling Puscas' shirt. I think he actually does rip his shirt. But then the ref books him for a dive. How? Like, you know, it's so frustrating. 2 weeks in a row, Charlton have been hard done by disgraceful officiating. The Championship referees are absolutely awful. But for the second week in a row, we're cheated by officials. Like two big shouts there. And there's a lot on the line with these decisions. Anike's offside and Puscas' penalty appeal. Both of them should really have resulted in goals. Anike's goal was a goal. He's not offside. And Puscas' penalty is a penalty. We should at least have come away with a point from this game. But, as I said, the officiating was absolutely disgraceful. But we can't fully pin the blame on the refs. Because we simply weren't good enough once again. Simply weren't good enough. Didn't take our chances. But how the referee can give Puscas' penalty as a dive, but then Rimanota's penalty acclaim is a penalty, it makes no sense. Because Jake's penalty appeal was much a better penalty appeal than Rimanota's. So, unfortunately for Charlton, that is how the game ended. Reading walk away with a 1-goal win. Puscas' second-minute penalty was enough to give them the 3 points. Reading now essentially playing for absolutely nothing now for the rest of the season. They're going to be safe. They're safe in a mid-table position, but it puts Charlton in a disastrous situation. But once again, it just wasn't good enough for Charlton. We can blame the officials all we want. 2 bad decisions from the officials there against us. But we just simply weren't good enough. 15 shots from Charlton to Reading's 7. Both teams had 2 shots on target. We had double the shots of them, the same shots on target. We had more of the ball. Reading didn't even register a shot in the entire second half, for crying out loud. We completely dominated that second half. Just didn't take our chances once again. Bond missing from 3 yards out inside the first half. Anike skies countless shots over the bar with headers. And then that shot where the defender put him off. And then the refereeing decisions. Once again, another game where our attackers are poor. Our attack has been shocking since returning from lockdown. It has. Bowyer very clearly has had an emphasis on defending. Because before the restart, our defence was shocking. Let's not get it wrong. We could barely defend for our lives. Since lockdown, we can defend. We've defended very well. Alright? Our attack has got worse. And I hate to say it, I hate to admit it, but we do miss Lyle Taylor. We do miss him. As much of a prick as he is, we do miss him. It does wind me up because we're now left with strikers that just can't find the back of the net. Bon, our top scorer with 9 goals, can't score from 3 yards out. Chuks Anike, our best attacker since lockdown, can't score. Toma Hemed is just Toma Hemed. Andre Green, barely seen anything from him. Josh Davison, to be honest, deserves a chance. He does. Josh Davison does deserve a chance because he will give 100%. I've said this since Hull City, even when we beat Hull 1-0. I said this, we're lacking the creativity. What is Johnny Williams doing to not get a start? Did you not watch the Brentford game? Against Brentford, he got that start. He was the most creative player on that pitch. Alongside Ben Rama and Mbuimo and Da Silva. Players like that. And he got subbed off inside the 55th minute. What is he doing to not get a start? Johnny needs to be starting every game for the rest of this season now. We need creativity on that pitch. Oztuma, start him. He's creative. He could do something. Give him a go. You know what I mean? Give him a go. Aidan McGeady, most of the attacks came through him that game. Most of the attacks came through him and Anike. Just nothing went their way. McGeady certainly has improved since we've returned, but he just isn't good enough for this league anymore. He just isn't Championship standard. I don't know what it boils down to. Does it boil down to the players lacking confidence? Does it boil down to Bowyer's tactics? What does it boil down to? We just simply haven't been good enough. So following that defeat to Reading and results elsewhere, Charlton slip to 21st in the Championship table, 1 point from safety against Hull City. Bearing in mind, this is without Wigan's points deduction. Of course, Wigan sadly have entered administration. They will receive a 12-point deduction if they survive in the Championship. They're currently 8 points clear of Hull City with 9 points up for grabs. pretty much have secured safety. So Wigan will be receiving a points deduction this year. If you were to take Wigan's points deduction into an account, they'd be bottom of the league still, but 4 points behind us. Charlton are a point in front of Hull, they're a point in front of Luton, they're a point in front of Barnsley, and they are a point in front of Wigan. That's how close it is. And the thing is, we're 3 points off bottom of the league. If results don't go our way and we lose our next game, I genuinely think that's us done. 3 defeats in a row against Millwall, Brentford and Reading. 2 of those games, probably all 3 of them, we should have come away with something. Should have at least got a point against Millwall, but we lost that game and that's our fault. Should have got a point against Brentford, maybe even the 3 points. A bad refereeing decision in that one, but we went defensive too early. Against Reading, give away a penalty. Classic mistake from Oshilaja, like he's done all season. 2 bad refereeing decisions that should have gone our way and potentially could have been a point or 3. And that would have seen us safe, in my opinion. But now, we're in a difficult situation. And our next 3 games are Birmingham, Wigan and Leeds. Birmingham in absolute freefall. They've played their 6 games since returning, 2 draws and 4 defeats. Those 4 defeats have been in a row. They lost to Stoke on Sunday, lost 2-0, a fellow relegation rival for both teams. And Birmingham now find themselves in this relegation scrap, which stuns me because I actually thought they'd be a tough team to beat. It would be classic Charlton for us to go to Birmingham midweek and then for them to beat us. It'd be classic. This is our most important game of the season. I've said this so many times, I'm sick of saying it. We need to beat Birmingham. Wigan, up next, who despite their unfortunate situation, have been flying. I do think they'll do enough to survive. I really do. The sad thing is though, Charlton could actually relegate Wigan when we play them at the Valley. But again, a must-win game. And against Leeds, hopefully, by the time we play Leeds, they'd have already won the league. They only need 1 point to get promoted. So hopefully, Bielsa will play his weakest possible team, allow us to go full front, and for us to get a win that will see us survive. And I hope Bielsa does that, but chances are he won't. And I am fearing the worst, because our team can't score. We cannot score goals. Since returning, we've scored 3 goals. 3. What's happened to our attack? And I've said this so many times. We've lacked creativity. Yet Bowyer insists on not starting Johnny Williams, on not starting Andre Green, on not starting Erhan Öztürk. Players that have the creative cutting edge. Admittedly, Green, potentially, not as good as the other 2. But what is Johnny Williams doing to not get a start? You know? We can defend. We've sussed that out. Just we have the mistake here and there through one certain individual who has had countless amount of mistakes this season in Deji Oshilaja. But it's the attack that needs to be sorted out. And if they beat us, I seriously think that we will be going down. I am under that impression. I know I need to be jumping on the positive train and I need to be staying positive. And there's people out there saying that keep the faith, this squad is good enough for the Championship, which is an incredibly bold statement and an incorrect one, because this squad isn't good enough for this league. If we were to go down right now, we just have to hold our hands up and say fair enough. We just have to say fair enough, we just weren't good enough. Because this squad isn't good enough for this league. It's not. And I know I'm jumping on the negative train. And I will go into the Birmingham game with a positive mentality with the hope that we will get a win. But we're making it very difficult for ourselves. And we're making it very difficult for us to stay positive. Because we can't score, there's no creativity in that team, too many mistakes, and the refereeing in the last 2 games have cost us at least 4 points. So that is it for this match review, guys, of Saturday's game against Reading. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, can you possibly leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, turn on those post notifications so you're notified of when I post. I just want to say the support recently has been absolutely incredible. I didn't expect that during this lockdown period that the support that I've been getting, you guys have been smashing it recently. You've been absolutely killing it. So thank you so much for that. What do you guys think about the game on Saturday? Let me know in the comments below. Give me your opinions on Anike's offside and Puscas's penalty appeal. Let me know what you think. Is it offside? Is it a penalty? Let me know in the comments below. Get me talking. Also, do you think Charlton will survive? Let me know in the comments below, because I'm in serious doubt about it. I'm being honest with you. This has been Tyler Rodinson. Have a nice day, and I'll see you all on Wednesday or Thursday for our match against Birmingham City. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you later.